Hey, everybody. I would have loved it if you actually hit the camera. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rewind the Tape. I'm none other than your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by Ben of the Valley and 50 Trees of Geek. How are you guys doing?
Really looking forward to talking about this movie.
Me too. We are here to talk about the classic live-action Disney film George of the Jungle, starring none other than Brendan Fraser and Leslie Mann. And
Thank
you very much. I already blanked on his name. Yes,
the Sandman.
The Sandman. Yes. Well, this was the first movie I saw him in.
Yeah, me too. And don't forget, John Cleese has a voice ape named Ape.
Yeah, of an ape named Ape. Oh, named yeah. Ape. God, I love John Cleese. I actually watched the first episode of Fawlty Towers yesterday. Still holds up. Oh, my Lord. I love that man.
You know what, Soda? This is just a side thing, but I know me and Raiko recommended this a bunch. You really need to watch that one episode of Doctor Who he had a cameo in. It's a great episode nonetheless, but his part in it was just a cherry on the cake.
Sorry, whose part?
John Cleese.
Yeah.
That's who we were talking about.
Yeah, brain fart. Sorry. Yes, I keep forgetting that he was in an episode of it. Is he the only Monty Python person?
It's a cameo, but it's a great one.
Is he the only Monty Python person to have appeared in Doctor Who?
You know what? I think so, yeah.
Interesting. Weird.
I know I hear this nicely. Is he the biggest star to come out of Monty Python?
Yes.
I'd say yes, yeah.
Yeah. Because Graham Chapman died too young. Eric Idle, he was in Casper and stuff like that, but he's John Cleese was just in bigger, more important things, if that makes sense. As an actor, he was more in demand.
Just look at the man's filmography. He was in the Harry Potter movies. He was in Fawlty Towers.
A Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah. What was the name of? Was he in Clue or was he in a different mystery movie?
He was not in Clue.
He was in Rat Race?
Rat Race, yes.
Yeah. That's the one I think I was referring to. Believe it or not, he was also in an Israeli commercial for chocolate.
Interesting.
He was in an Israeli chocolate ad. I gotta send it to you later. He says like 2 words, literally 2 words, but he sells it.
And I believe he was in that Steve Martin remake, The Out-of-Towners.
He was. I'm looking at his filmography right now. He also was in the Western Silverado. He was also the voice of Cat R. Wall in American Tail, 50 Goes West. He was Professor Waldman in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which has Robert De Niro and directed by Kenneth Branagh. He did like George of the Jungle. He was also R in the James Bond series for a while, over for Q. He played Mr. Monday in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, King Harold in Shrek 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. This guy, it's easy to say he's had the biggest career.
And believe me, if he's still alive, we have to protect him with everything we got.
3 of them are still. 3 of them? 4 of them are still alive out of the 6.
Oh, okay.
He's still alive. He's still around.
Graham Chapman died in 1990, early 90s, and then Terry Jones.
Eric Idle was a few years ago, right?
No, Eric Idle's still kicking. Terry Jones.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the one who played Brian's mom in Life of Brian.
Yeah. Eric Idle in Casper. So funny.
Oh, yeah, great movie. Especially, he's like, who are you going to call? Someone else.
Oh, my God, I love that cameo. And I love the cameo with Brad Garrett, Lonnie Dangerfield, Mel Gibson, there was like 30 seconds with Clint Eastwood. I think that's all of them.
That's a movie I haven't watched in a while.
You should add that one to the wheel.
Okay, well, we should, but those aren't movies we're actually here to discuss. We're here to discuss George of the Friggin' Jungle. I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm actually the odd one out. I saw the second one first.
Interesting.
For some reason.
The second one had a really funny moment at the very beginning. It's a narrator introducing George, and he victim was one, like, he says, "Who are you?" And George says, "Studio Shoot to pay Brendan Fraser to come back."
Nice.
And that new George.
Very nice.
I thought you were talking about that moment where he starts swinging. Everyone yells, "Watch out for the tree!" and he somehow misses the one tree. But the narrator continues. For once, George managed to miss the first tree he was about to run into. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough to make him miss the other tree that came around, and he just bumps into another tree. I think I might be misremembering that moment, but it's pretty much what happens. He misses the first tree and then smashes into another one.
What?
I've been the second one.
Because I didn't say, I think the fourth wall breaking in the first one rivals the fourth wall breaking in Deadpool. I forgot how funny the narrator is.
Yeah, and I always forget there's a scene where the bad guys argue with the narrator.
And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is, and now the guy fell in the dirt. Now we roll our hands back and laugh. Ah!
I just love that in both movies, whenever the narrator says something that one of the characters is doing, and then the character is literally doing exactly what the narrator just said. Like they're treating this as it should. Like they nailed the tone with the interaction between the character and the narrator.
One of my favorites was when he's getting dressed in the shop and he turned when the narrator's like, George looking good, and George turns like looking real good.
And I didn't realize until this. The leader of the people who the tour guides, you know who that is?
Shaft.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's the original Shaft. Richard Roundtree. Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
And another cast member I didn't realize who it was. The father of Leslie Mann's character played by John Bennett Perry. Matthew Perry. Anywho.
And crickets. Okay. Let's just hop right into it. And luckily,
I think you should have played the crickets sound effect in that one moment.
Luckily, the Disney Wiki has me covered with an actually good, lengthy plot. Okay. The film begins with an animated prologue showing George's backstory as a baby from San Francisco who survived an airplane crash in Africa. Separated from his human parents, he grew up in the jungle, raised by apes, and befriended many jungle animals, including an ape named Ape, who George considered a brother, and a dog-legged elephant named Shep. His big
I love Shep. I love Shep.
Yeah.
Shep just reminds me so much of Toy.
Okay.
Not completely unaware of her size, and just always wants to play, always wants to have fun, and always just jumping around. I mean, it's kind of hard when you see a dog in a movie not to think of your own dog.
Yeah.
Once you have one. Like,
that's fair. Like my friend's dog Gary's like that. Yeah, to the point it's a little too much.
Shep?
Oh yeah. George now lives on friendly terms with most animals. He is quite clumsy, a tendency manifest in his collision with trees, and his less than secure footing, but takes all mishaps in stride. Ursula Stanhope is a beautiful American heiress, reluctantly engaged to marry Lyle Vandergroot, who seems more attached to his fiance's wealth than to her. On an expedition to Central Africa, joined by Lyle and 2 men he hired named Max and Thor, Ursula is rescued from a lion attack by a man named George. While rescuing Ursula, George accidentally knocks her unconscious, naturally, on a tree branch and takes her back to his jungle treehouse. Ursula is charmed by George and they become friends. She's introduced to George's pet elephant named Shep. George begins to fall in love with her and asks Ape for advice in courting her. Ape's advice is the only variably dependable, but George's attempts do meet with some success. So
that scene killed me.
I'm just gonna go now. Ugh. There we go. Lyle and the rest of the expedition. Sorry?
I said it's always hard refinding your place after you stop reading it someplace.
Oh, yeah. Lyle and the rest of the expedition search for Ursula, and it is revealed that the men Lyle hired are poachers. Lyle finds George's treehouse and tries to persuade Ursula to come with him. She calls George over, and Lyle tries to scare him off using what he thought was a pistol-shaped cigarette lighter. It turns out that a porter had switched the lighter with a real pistol, and Lyle shoots George with it by accident because, as we know, nobody in this film dies.
They just get really big boom booms.
Yeah, really big boos. Oh, yeah.
Boo boos. Sorry, boo boos.
They cut to the freaking guy. George survives because, according to the narrator, nobody dies in this story, but Lyle is sent to prison. Max and Thor attempt to capture Ape, whom they have overheard speaking in English. They are arrested and sent to Bujumbura jail, but are released on a technicality. Ursula returns to her home in San Francisco, taking George with her to get him the finest medical treatment available. In San Francisco,
when somebody who gets shot in the head, he manages to not look hurt at all.
Because remember, Ben, nobody dies in this story.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of plot armor, Ben.
Yeah, plot armor in a kid's film. Nobody dies.
Plot armor in a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. In San Francisco.
People do die in Disney movies. Remember The Lion King, Ben? The greatest movie ever made? You handed it to me on a silver platter, man.
Uh-huh. In San Francisco, George is introduced to the Society of Humans. He proceeds to make a remarkable impression upon his new acquaintances. One noteworthy... Sorry?
Nice butt flap.
Yeah, nice butt flap, yeah. Walks out buck-ass naked. Funny looking rock.
When we first saw Ursula's friend, I thought for a second that was Catherine Hahn.
She does look familiar.
I think she's a little too tall for that.
I think she plays that role quite a bit.
Yeah.
One noteworthy incident is his heroic rescue of a stranded parasailer. Meanwhile, Ursula's parents throw an engagement party for her. At the party, Ursula's mother Beatrice realizes that George's affection for Ursula might end any chance of her daughter marrying Lyle. Mrs. Stanhope then lectures George on the unsuitability of any relationship he might have with Ursula and threatens George to leave Ursula alone or else she will castrate him. Woo!
I hate this character, but she plays it so well.
Oh, yeah.
A great Holland Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's the mother from 2.5 Men, right?
Correct. Holland Taylor, yes.
Yeah.
Funny thing, she in this movie, but not in the second one. But the kid in the second one is a kid from 2.5 Men.
Oh, nice.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did not. I gotta watch the second one again now.
So we did skip a little bit past it, but the scene where she speaks like a chipmunk, the really, really sped up scene, I actually have it, what she's saying. So when Ursula very quickly tells her parents of her jungle exploits, she is actually saying, so anyway, I went to the jungle, inaudible, and I wanted to get away before I got married, and Lyle showed up and nobody got along with Lyle. He was a big pain in the ass. And anyway, so he went off into the jungle by himself, and I had to follow him. And the jungle man comes swinging through in a vine, just swinging through, and then he hit something, and I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, I wake up inaudible, and then Lyle shot him.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, pretty much. Jeez.
By the way, another part that you found forward and didn't have it in the summary, the coffee scene.
Oh,
Where you're
oh,
this is a commercial for coffee. This is the best advertising coffee ever has done, in my opinion.
Jesus.
It makes you want to have coffee after.
Yeah, just chugs down straight caffeine beans. Oh my lord.
But when you really think about it, that kind of is the point of ads. Like,
Yeah.
guy sees another guy on an ad doing something for a woman, and the woman instantly falls in love with him. Guy immediately thinks, because of his unga bunga brain, if I do this, I'll get all the women. Hence, successful ad. So the ad in the movie was more successful than 90% of all ads in the world today.
A little too successful.
There's another product placement in this movie that is so forced that it took me out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
The shoes?
The shoes.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. I still think that's
It
hilarious.
ain't funny, but it's so obvious it's there just because it's after me.
More than the Nike in Back to the Future Part 2?
More than the one like the Transformers into the extinction.
Really?
To me.
Okay.
Or maybe other things that was not for me.
Or
No, all right.
Still fun. Still funny, but just took me out of it.
discouraged, George returns to Ursula's flat. There he finds his bird Tuki, who flew all the way who flew all the way from Africa to tell George that Max and Thor had stolen Ape to take him to Vegas to make a fortune. Immediately, George set off for Africa, leaving without even telling Ursula goodbye. Soon afterward, Ursula realized that she reciprocates George's affection, and much to her mother's dismay, decides to follow him to Africa. George returns to Africa to save Ape, who fortunately has been misleading his captors into following false trails. George finds Ape and tries to rescue him, but he is outnumbered. Due to Ape's insistence, George fights dirty, even making Max smell his armpit, and by giving Thor an atomic wedgie, pulling them up over his head. However, this isn't without consequence, as he suffers some humiliation, such as Thor holding him so Max can give him a purple nurple, and Max holding George in a full Nelson position so Thor can torture George by tickling him in his armpits, ribs, sides, and belly. Yeesh.
You know what this movie is, and I mean it in the best possible way.
It's a cartoon.
It's a live action cartoon, exactly.
It's a live action cartoon, as it should be.
It nailed what it was supposed to be. 100% nailed what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, just like Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Yeah. As George suffers from the tickling, he bravely endures the pain until Ursula arrives on the scene at the end of the fight, and moments before Lyle and some henchmen appear as well. It is revealed that Lyle escaped from jail and became an ordained minister so that he had the authority to marry Ursula and himself against her will. Lyle's henchmen tie George up, and Lyle runs away from Ursula. He takes her to a raft on Ape River and proceeded with a marriage ceremony. Meanwhile, George, Ape, and other animals defeat Lyle's henchmen, and George rescues Ursula before Lyle can finish the marriage. After admitting they love each other, George and Ursula are married in a lavish jungle ceremony on the next full moon and eventually have a son. In the mid-credits scene, Ape travels to Las Vegas where he becomes a performer, and the final scenes show him using Max and Thor as stage props in his program. Credits.
Did it say what song he's saying?
My Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sinatra classic, My Way.
Perfect song to sing in that situation, right?
Oh,
absolutely.
totally.
Absolutely.
I just realized that they skipped over the little bit where this says, like, basically a monkey molests Lyle afterwards.
Oh, Lyle, what a great villain in this movie.
Oh, Thomas Hayden Church has great comedic chops.
All the way hit back in his days on Rings.
Yes, would have been after that, wouldn't it?
No.
I think the movie's 97.
It is 97. Yeah, Wings, wasn't it over by then?
Yeah, that was Rings was before Children of the Jungle.
I think this would have been around Ned and Stacy.
Right. Right.
Which is his show he did with Deborah Messing.
Right. I forgot about that.
Um,
Yeah, they're a funny ass movie. Funny
Yeah.
movie.
yeah, this is around Ned and Stacy because Wings ended in 95.
Right, and then, yeah.
97,
Okay. Yeah.
And he was also in Tombstone. I forgot about that.
Yep.
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 All right. Tombstone was when exactly? When was
93.
Tombstone?
I
Yeah, I
remember
thought it was
him
earlier than
everything.
93.
No, 93 came out this around the same time as the other Wyatt Earp movie, Wyatt Earp.
I remember him came out right around the same time as Batman Forever, but that was
95.
95.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, Tombstone was actually during the run of Wings.
Right. Maybe that's why he wasn't in it all that much.
And it looks like he's actually going to be in the upcoming Twisted Metal movie. Series, sorry.
Nice.
The video based on the video game.
Was he in No Way Home?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
What do you
No, but
mean? That character was he actually
He voiced
physically
in
in it?
archival footage.
Okay.
So I think he might have done some new dialogue, but he physically never appeared.
no, but there's a bit right at the end where the Peters turn all the animals, all the villains back to normal, and he's there.
Yeah, that's because they used a scene from Spider-Man 3. They just cut it out of there and put it in here. Yeah.
I thought that was him
No, he
physically.
never physically shot any new stuff. He did some voice stuff, and that was it.
But I mean, even if it was just the voice, he was there.
Yeah,
No, like I said, that character was there, but
he was, but it's not him now. It's him from back
It's not
then.
him as that's why the character was just so sandy, so no one would notice that it wasn't really him.
Exactly, yeah.
But to be honest, he would have looked significantly different, so I understand why they did that.
Same thing with Lizard. That's why he was really in it.
He was
Who? The lizard?
The Lizard, he was barely in that movie.
That's right, yeah, the lizard as well. That was also voiceover.
Yeah, that was. But I mean, that character, you can get away with only doing just the voice.
Yeah,
Agreed.
CGI character anyway. The Sandman in the original Spider-Man 3, not so much. So you could have played around with that.
right. But they also, while it is those characters, they did also alter the other ones as well. So based on that, for me, it's a little more easier to digest.
No, of course. I think we're all.
I mean, at least Melina, Defoe, and Fox were there.
Yeah,
At least we got that.
yeah. The
And
three
obviously Toby and Andrew were there. So at least we got away with that.
I'm not complaining at all. I'm just.
Oh, I know. We're just now.
I think we're all saying the same thing. Yes. We can't seem to get on the same frequency. But yeah, good movie.
Well, okay then. Should we bring up the wheel? I guess.
Yeah.
For a moment there, I thought you might have a visitor.
Oh, your mom?
Toy.
Oh.
By the way, Ben, might I compliment you on a great T-shirt, sir?
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Oh, hey, what?
Okay, that was weird. I mean, a great T-shirt, but still. Oh, we got like a liar on the wheel.
So,
Yeah.
in its place of George of the Jungle, Ben has added Titanic, which is actually one of my all-time favorite films. Tango and Cash has to come off because we've already done that.
Right.
What do you mean Tango and Catch?
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Titanic, did you hear about Celine Dion? By the way,
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I heard it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. As if the 2020s couldn't get any worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we ready for
So
this?
Titanic, Grease 2, Megamind, Wedding Crashers, Aladdin and the Prince of Thieves, The Return of Jafar, Miracle, Not Another Teen Movie, Father the Bride, 1991, and The Birdcage and Liar, Liar.
What are you hoping for?
I'm actually curious about Not Another Teen Movie this time around.
Hey, what are you looking for, 15?
I'm hoping for Liar Liar, but if we land on Titanic, I might have a confession to make. So we'll see.
You hate the movie, don't you?
No, not quite.
Oh boy.
Never watched it.
You've never seen it?
So if we land on Titanic, I will watch it for the first time. Then we can talk about it.
Okay, Titanic. Changing it to Titanic right now. God, if you're up there.
I'm hoping for Liar Liar, but I'm also going to give the slight edge to Titanic.
Okay.
You know what?
I am legit intrigued by that movie. I am looking forward to a reason to force me to watch that movie for the first time.
I will like nerd out over that movie. I will come with facts and.
You know what? I think the first time we're all three of us watch the same movie.
Liar Liar?
No, not gonna land on it.
Oh, Titanic. Oh, you want
Yeah,
that?
of course, because that's our luck.
Not no.
Don't look, Soda. And it's Wedding
Crashers. Interesting. Okay, this is a movie I haven't seen.
Why is it Wedding Crasher?
Because Ben needs a new editor.
You want that job?
Yeah, no kidding. It's a full-time job on its own.
One job, Ben.
You
I'm
had
kidding,
one job, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Actually, you know what? I'm willing to call an audible. How about we just do Titanic?
Fine.
No, I'm serious. Like,
No, fine. I'm cool with that.
I've been wanting to watch it.
Me too.
Like, I mean, why not?
All right, fine. So just ignore the wheel for now.
What we'll do is, because we did spin, we'll do Titanic, and then we'll do Wedding Crashers, and then we'll go back to the wheel.
You know what? Fine,
like a plan to me.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing when I get back home tonight. I'm throwing on my Blu-ray. And there's supposed to be a 4K transfer of it coming out at some point, because this was the 110th anniversary of the sinking.
No, it's not.
Wow, it's Megamind. Oh,
I love that movie too.
Love. Olo, it's hello, sir.
I use Olo all the time as a greeting. All the time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Olo.
And every once in a while, when it's as a joke, when it's like we're coming into a quote unquote insurmountable circus situation, I always yell, "We're gonna die!"
That him plays.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
I like it when Brad Pitt shows up in these cameos.
Me too. I wouldn't really call this one a cameo though. Like Deadpool.
No, I know, but when you call the one in Deadpool 2 a cameo.
Oh, I just totally that is a cameo.
That is a cameo, man.
Megamind, that's a supporting character.
Fine. But I got that. When you saw Deadpool 2 and that scene happens, you had to double check, right? Like, you wasn't sure that was really him, right?
Oh, I choked on my popcorn.
How about you, 50? Did you know that was him?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I only knew it until after I got
You
home
didn't
and
catch it when it happened.
Yeah, like that cameo went completely over my head. I did not even realize it was him. But to go off of what you said earlier, I added this soundbite that I was looking for an opportunity to use and never did.
We're all going to die.
Yeah, it's not Megamind, it's the Fourth Doctor, but I mean, it still fits the thing. So Titanic.
Yes, like I said, my number 4.
What
was that? 50?
I said, never mind. It's an Israeli joke, but I think it's about damn time I watched that movie, right?
I'm actually curious. This is going to be great for me. I'm curious. especially you're probably going to have a lot of questions that I will actually be able to answer. This will be like the roles are reversed. It's
Yeah,
like when
that's
I'm
your
on a
Lion
Doctor Who
King.
show.
Well,
I would say that your Doctor Who is wrestling and Titanic is your Lion King. If we're comparing it to me.
Yeah, that's actually, I'd say that's a really apt comparison. Yes.
So, question: is it on Disney Plus though? Because it was a
No,
Fox
but
film originally.
It's on my Apple TV account that I lent you.
Okay.
It's in my library section.
All right.
Yeah. So you can watch it on there.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Oh, by the way, look, going back to George of the Jungle, I can't believe I forgot to ask this new 50. How much did you like that very last scene in the movie?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to come to ask that. Well, obviously, the world of cinema has been blessed by the greatest movie ever made in 1994. It took them several decades to perfect the greatest masterpiece ever, but it was only a natural thing that after 1994, other movies would start to try to copy and grab this little piece, the little slice of heaven that is the Lion King. And what better way to express that than with an actual jungle themed movie based in Africa about a king of the jungle who found a woman and now they have a child at the end of the movie.
That or Disney just happened to own the rights and didn't have to pay shit for it. One of the two.
I mean that is an interesting hypothesis, Soda. Shall we put a pin in that for now?
Yes, let's further that. Let's wait for Ben to breathe.
I think you broke the guy.
I didn't mean to with that one.
Look at him, he's crying.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I ever made him laugh so hard he cried.
All right.
Okay, before we kill Ben, 50
Again.
On you.
Yeah.
This is how much you made him laugh. People actually thought he was choking. He was laughing so hard.
They came to check on you? Did they come to check on you?
We're all going to die.
Pretty much.
In a nutshell, we're all going to die. I thought.
Wrap this sucker up.
Yeah, all right, 50 trees. Where can everybody find you?
Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek, where I go through every single episode of Doctor Who from 1963 all the way to 2022. And that's a bit too early to tease that. But yeah, I'm still about halfway through season 2 at the moment. But I've already started season 4. I've already started the Troughton era. Just gotta get to the video making process. And you can also find me every Saturday on Northern Countdown with these lovely gentlemen, and every Monday talking even more Doctor Who on the greatest show in the galaxy. And you can also find me on Taco's channel, something to talk about on the Geek Gauntlet. Also with these two wonderful gentlemen.
That was fun, guys. That was hella fun.
Yeah, never would have expected who won that one.
No, I don't think any of us would have.
And I already forget. Tell me off air. Yeah, and you guys can find me on my Twitter at HeadGeekBand, on my YouTube channel, Multiverse of Geekdom. Yeah, and right here on the Weather Tape on the Northern Countdown.
And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on the shows these gentlemen has mentioned here and as well as over on the Let's Get Ready Network, doing the Blokes of Wrestling podcast over there. So on behalf of myself, Ben, 50, and the little one bear, we'll see you next week as we go.
A dog named Bear, an elephant named Chef, and sorry, I butchered that joke. Let's finish this.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that, but anyways, join us next time as we go back to the night of April 14th, 1912, where the world changed forever. The night the Titanic sank, as we go to James Cameron's Titanic. See you later, folks. Have a good week.